Good morning. My name is Janelle Breeze-Biagioni, and I'm CEO of the Constable Gerald Breeze Center for Traumatic Life Losses. Today I want to talk about a couple of things, one being that it's September 11th, the other was that yesterday was Suicide Prevention Day, and three, that the writ will be dropped today for our federal election to go forward. So first of all, we just want to pay tribute to those who lost their lives in the 9/11 attacks, and for the thousands and thousands and thousands of family members and loved ones who still carry the heartache with them today of losing people in those terrible, terrible events. And for those who serve to protect and to help everybody, our hearts go out to all of you as well. Yesterday was Suicide Prevention Day, and while I did share a post acknowledging that it was Suicide Prevention Day, I did not add any comments to it, and I did that for a reason. Generally, when I repost something, I'm always looking for ways to acknowledge people who are living with a brain injury, for their family members, and to educate the public how whatever I'm posting relates to brain injury. And I didn't do that yesterday. It just didn't feel right for me. It felt like I wanted to just allow those who have struggled with suicide ideation and who make the choice every day to put a gun down or to put that pill bottle back in the cupboard and to stay here on earth with us, that I just wanted to honor the struggle that they are in or have been through. And I also wanted just to allow space for families and loved ones who do carry the heartbreak of losing a loved one to suicide, to just let them have their day. So today I do want to comment on it because I also didn't want to bring a lot of fear to people, but there is a direct link between brain injury and suicide, and it's very concerning. So if you go to our website and take a look at our educational video that is there, it's a 11-minute video called Surviving the Perfect Storm, Mental Health, Addiction, and Brain Injury. You will see Dr. Wayne Gordon talking on there from Mount Sinai Hospital. And what he had to say is very compelling. So he talks about mental health struggles of individuals who are living with a brain injury, that they suffer from anxiety and depression. And then he says that suicide is the end point of depression. And the greatest predictor, or one of the best predictors of suicide, is brain injury. So there is a link, and people do struggle with mental health after they have a brain injury. And in fact, the stat is that there's a 400% increased risk of brain injury survivors suffering from mental health. And then also family members or caregivers who have the responsibility of care also will have, their own struggles of anxiety and depression and hopelessness and things that they go through too. So we need to care for them. So in terms of the suicide prevention, lots of encouragement for people to reach out and connect and to ask for help when you need help and to talk to people. And certainly that goes the same for brain injury. But I also do want to say that many of the survivors whom I have been blessed to work with and honored to walk this walk with do ask for help, and they are reaching out, but often they can't access the supports, that they are denied those supports through mental health services or addiction services because they have a brain injury and they're considered complex. And so they're told to take care of the brain injury and then we can help you with that, or you need to be sober and clean for a year before you can get this kind of counseling. So there's all kinds of barriers. So I don't want people to just assume that someone who is having thoughts of suicide hasn't reached out. They do. And often there's barriers to them accessing services. So that is part of the work that we are on a mission to break down those barriers so that people can access services that are equitable, flexible, and fit their needs, as well as that will engage with them for the amount of time that they need it, not just a specified time. So that leads me into saying that the writ is being dropped for the federal election, and to encourage people to do their homework. Now, as a Canadian, I know that all Canadians have a lot on their mind with this election. There's everything from the pipeline to SNC, that whole scandal. There's lots on our mind. But I do want to encourage people to put brain injury as one of the top 3 things that they'll be talking to candidates about. Certainly, our charity is nonpartisan. I am a nonpartisan person. I don't subscribe to any particular party. That's my choice. That may not be your choice. I do know that when people are voting, they make the choice to vote on either the party that they align with or they vote on by subject matter, or they're voting on the person that they think is the right candidate. For me, it really is the latter two. Because brain injury is my bone that I carry every day and that I chew on and that I'm trying to fight for, I don't align with any particular party, and that's because I don't believe that brain injury, mental health, or addiction are any one party's concern. They're everybody's concern, and so I want to educate everybody. So I really do vote based on an issue, and I vote based on the candidate who I feel most likely is going to respond to the needs of the people that I'm speaking for. That doesn't always work, but you know what? The only wrong thing to do is to not vote and to not exercise your right as a Canadian. So what I'm asking you today is to be sure to talk to your politicians, the candidates who are out there, and ask them, what do you know about brain injury? What do you know about mental health and addiction? What do you know about the opioid crisis in Canada? What are we going to do to find solutions to help not only the survivors of brain injury, but their families, because the responsibility of care is great on our families. And while they want to be part of that, there comes a breaking point too, where families just are exhausted. They don't have it in them to take another step, to fight another fight, and they're just weary from trying to navigate a system that either is broken or is fraught with barriers for them to access services for their loved ones. So if you need some assistance in developing some questions about what you could ask a candidate around brain injury, mental health, and addiction, by all means, go to our website. We have a 1-800 number. You can find it there and call me. I'm happy to help you formulate some questions. So again, when you're thinking about who you'll vote this year and think about your top 3 things that you want to see changed in Canada, please put brain injury, mental health, and addictions at the top of your list. I appreciate your support with that, and with all of us coming together in a collective voice to work collaboratively, we can find some solutions. So thank you, and again, God bless all of those who are carrying the heartbreak of 9/11, and we wish you well. Take care.